Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honoring the
Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Meeting will please come to order. We do approve the posting in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. We do have proper proof of the posting. At this time, any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 5 minutes.
I'd like to speak.
Yes, I think we'll begin with the county clerk, and this is a little unusual. We don't have it on the agenda, but she's going, since we did just have our election.
We just had our election. We have unofficial results. We did have issues with the machines out at the polling locations. We had battery issues and some issues going on that we had a ES&S representative here supporting us that went out and did our troubleshooting. We did have problems with the ERM, which is the election night returns management system. The system's so old that we had lots of issues with it. I don't know what to say other than we did the best we could by getting results out. We left here at 2:15 last night. We finally have the cards all ready, and these are unofficial. We have provisional ballots that will be possibly counted, and we have today's mail to check at 5 o'clock this evening. If anything's postmarked yesterday's date, those will be available to be taken to the early voting ballot board to be counted. So those are just a few scenarios here that these are unofficial results, but there still could be just a few little changes within it. I'm going to introduce you to Terry Kaiser, who's our representative, and he'll give a little bit of an overview.
Thank you, Linda. Just real briefly, I'm out of Omaha, Nebraska, where the company's from. Been with them for over 15 years. I've supported this equipment, I think, back when I started with them. So I pulled batteries out of, we've said there's a battery issue. Some of the batteries I pulled out of the IVOs, the voting machines at the locations, were dated as 2002. So that's the age of the electronics that we're working with here. Things are getting slower. Electronics don't get better with age. So I'm just here to say that they fielded a bunch of calls while I was down to Langley, getting the polls closed down there with the issue that we had down there. They had trouble with a lot of the times on the internal clocks in them that aren't keeping time anymore, so that when at 7 o'clock when it came, they're supposed to go to automatic shutdown mode. And they didn't do that, so they had to force close them, which was fine. They talked them through it, and they got through it. Computer at the what we call the ERM, the election management reporting system, locked up, I think 3 times during loading the elections and the data and stuff in them. So it just all delayed it. And so we, instead of getting done at 10:30, 11 o'clock, we were done. Had that done about 2:15. So I'd be glad to answer any questions you've got. I'm not here to say what the resolution is. That's not my job, just to kind of touch base of the challenges we had last night.
Just one thing, would you clarify, when there were malfunctions or whatever you call it that you had to address, did any of those things address the totaling of the ballots?
No, it did not. No.
Just to clarify.
Correct. So we run reports as we're doing it and make sure that when we add in a batch, that it adds up to the votes that the people at the polls gave us. So by the end of the night, we have matching numbers. with what the poll workers gave us as to how many people voted, and we have the same number count on the machines. So when things lock up and you have to force close a computer and restart it, we had to restart the election and run media a couple of times to make sure that it was correct in there. But at the end of the day, when we got done, our in number matched exactly what all the poll workers had to, so it's perfect count. So the poll workers do a wonderful job.
I was in that line at line A. Who's responsible for upgrading the equipment or replacing the old equipment? Do you guys do that, or we pay for it in the county, or?
That'll be something we'll be talking about in budget time.
Yeah, it is I believe it's a budgeted expense to the county or the state, one of the two. I don't know how Texas handles it. I travel a lot of different states, so it's handled differently in different places, so I'm not just going to turn.
Any other comments?
So are you saying these machines are just way out of date, past their times, past their use?
They, I'll put it this way, how many people have a computer at home that they use that is 18 years old? You know, the system can't be updated anymore. It uses Windows XP. I don't want to get too technical, but Windows XP isn't even supported by Windows anymore, so you can't do any updates, so that the system runs freer. But that's the only system that ERM, the version of ERM that runs with the equipment that you have, it takes that oldest system to run it. So that's...
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have a presentation on a different topic.
Different topic.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Anyone else on this? On this topic?
Not his question, I don't want to speak at this time.
All right, I believe you spoke up first, and then we'll take yours, Mr. Martin. Yes, sir.
Good morning. So she doesn't have to hold that thing in there, I'll stand over here. My name is Robert Baird. You may remember me from Indigent Healthcare Solutions. I didn't plan on speaking to the court, but the treasurer and the auditor thought it might be important if I did share some information with you. You may recall when I was last in front of you, I proposed that we put our indigent healthcare software in Freestone County and allow you to run it for some period of time at no cost to see if the return on investment was there. 170 Texas counties use our software. And we did that, but the week after that we did that, the jail ceased operating for a while. Therefore, there was no data coming into the system. Therefore, I couldn't come back to the court and say, here were the results. Since then, your jail's come back online. And I was heading to Dallas today, and just because I asked my office to run statistics for Freestone County from January 1st until March 1st. And they did. On my way to Dallas, I stopped in and shared that with the ladies there, and they thought you might find it interesting. So, in front of you, you have this sheet right here. It's very simple to read. When I was last before you, I told you that I would like 3 months worth of data. This is not 3 months worth of data. This is 2 months worth of data. But very simply, you can see that from January 1st to March 2nd, the county was billed $46,213.75 for inmate medical bills. And using our software, the county paid $8,719.69 for those same bills. And then you can see how that's broken out. So that's a significant savings. Again, I promised the court when I was last before you that I would come with more information than this, that I wanted at least 1 quarter so I could triangulate what that might look like over the course of the year. And so I expect that in April I will call and ask permission to come before you again with more data, a little bit more official, some pie charts and things than you have here. But the ladies thought it was important that you see the information relevant for 2 months, and so I wanted to share that with you. And that's all I have.
All you will let us know, we will have it on the agenda for
Yes, ma'am.
discussion. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan?
Thank you. Morning, Judge Grant, Commissioners,
Mhm.
fellow members. We have a major issue that we're still addressing, and that's this noise issue, and I wanted to report to you today what the past 4 days have been like for me in my home because of a gas compressor station within 9/10 of a mile of my home, and they have run that thing up something terrible. And the past 4 days, I've taken 24 blood pressure readings at different times of the day, and also taken noise readings during some of those times. Out of the 24 total, 12 times was unacceptable blood pressure. One time was 200. 5 times 109 and over, I didn't get the rest of the number there, but that's the top part. And 6 times over 170. My normal is 120 over 70. I haven't seen 120 over 70 for months. So what are they trying to do? Give me a heart attack? They can do that. And you're doing that, increasing it all the time. It makes the sac around the heart become thickened. It's called vibroacoustic disease, as I've pointed out to you guys before. It's an actual factual thing that happens, can be made to happen. We've got to fix this problem in Freestone County because we have 130 gas compressor stations that are putting out this noise. It's terrible. We're not addressing it properly yet. Somehow we've got to get somebody's attention in the Railroad Commission to properly implement House Bill 1818 that I have to get passed that says you've got to protect our people. We're not protecting our people. This is happening all over where it's all gets. Pennsylvania is just about as bad as we are. And I've got a lot of data on that area. But on March the 1st, 202 over 110. That was at 8:21 hours, 8 o'clock. This is totally unacceptable, and we're not properly addressing it, and we've got to properly address it. I think that's to get with the Railroad Commission and get with the governor. Oh, the governor's going to be in the little town down there. Leon, huh? He's going to be there again, and I'm going to be there again. The last time I gave him a letter, it was not properly addressed. It was lost for 8 months, and I finally got a response, and they said, too late to do anything. So I'll be down there again. Shake his hand, see what kind of answer I get then. But this is just the last 4 days that all this is happening. I mean, it's like, what's going on? Why are you doing this? Because they can. And because they want to shut me up. I gave me brain damage in 2007. That's gone now, thank God, a lot of prayer. But these things are just, I feel like it's attempted murder. That's what it feels like, attempted murder. Last night, it was extremely high. At 7 minutes after midnight, my blood pressure was 180 over 85, pulse 52. I took 2 verapamil pills. My particular meal gets my blood pressure down in about 30 minutes. I go to bed with all this protective gear on, about 60 protective layers. And then I have another 2 layers on top of that that I can fold, fixed on my bed so I can fold it over and double that. It's that aluminum foil kind of stuff. This is not crazy stuff. This is protecting your body. I'm not crazy. I'm an A&M graduate in engineering in 1967, and I've been all over the world for the Air Force and have saved this country millions of dollars. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm looking at. This has to be addressed properly with proper authority, and the people who are given the authority by state law, House Bill 1818, gave the authority to the Railroad Commission. And somehow we've got to get the Railroad Commission's attention because they did not properly implement that bill. How do we do that? Do we have to go to the Attorney General and get a reading on him? His noise to be included in that protective stuff, to be protected from. It should be. And whenever this bill was being looked at, people were making presentations to get a bill done, okay? And I was one of those guys. And I was asked a question. Why is this happening? It's happening because we're not controlling people keeping the noise on their site. These gas companies are making billions of dollars, and they won't spend a few $100,000 to protect, what is it, estimated 2.3 million people in Texas alone, in just 27 counties, are being affected by this noise. So we've got to take action before more people are killed. We've already had 8 die in this county because of the noise. I've been to their homes before and after they died, and it's horrible level of noise, 85 decibels in one case. What more can I say? If you think coronavirus is bad, think about this 2.3 million people, from babies getting brain damage while they're still in the womb, until older people's brains are being screwed up, and the dementia is not just because they got older, it's because of the situation they're living in. Thousand Oaks. A couple of folks I know well. One guy was my former boss, an engineer. I happened to see him in the donut shop one day. He said, "Marty, I'm losing it." Why? I've been over there, and the noise readings over there is extremely high in low frequency range. This county is number 8 in number of gas wells in Texas. We've got to address it. There's too many people being harmed.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hey, Judge, I apologize. I've got another question for this election man, if you don't mind. What you've seen during this election, all the equipment they have, the equipment they have actually in the clerk's office, do you expect problems in the future, in the next elections? With your experience?
I would guess that they will not get better. They'll probably keep getting a little bit worse and a little bit worse.
Okay.
I don't look, there's not a real solution to fixing the equipment that's there.
Just to replace it?
That's kind of, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll go to item number 1 to approve the minutes of the February 19th regular meeting and the February 24th special meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from February 24th and February 19th.
Do we have a second?
On the 24th, did we discuss how many ballots were sent out that day?
I believe we did.
If I recall, it was 183 mail-out ballots.
168 or something?
I don't have that number in front of me. Do y'all want that
Oh,
added
we
into
put in,
that?
that
I
was
can sure do that.
Okay.
Sure will.
It was 183 stated in court.
It may have been because some came in after that list that you gave
We
us.
don't know.
But now, that didn't have anything to do with the machines themselves, did it?
No, it's just what we talked about
No,
before.
sir. I mean, no, ma'am, excuse me.
I mean, it was sent out.
All right, if you would add that in.
I sure will.
And with that, do we have a motion? Is that approved
Yes,
without
ma'am, with
amendment?
correct.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 2, budget transfers and amendments. Any discussion on the budget transfers and amendments?
I'm not gonna.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 3 is approval of the bills.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 4 is payroll. Here. Do you have a motion to approve the payroll?
I'll make it. Yes, ma'am.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 5 is reports. I have a letter from the County Historical Museum discussing what their plans are and thanking us for the county for the support that we provide to the museum. JP3 for February. The extension agent for prior month activities and for plans for the next month. February for the tax office. January for JP2. Anyone else have a report?
Judge, you want to hear what I'm doing this part, or?
That'd be fine, yes, that's okay.
All right. Just real quick, since we got started, we had to work to paint the office out and get it in working shape. Worked with, working on the emergency plan, trying to update it so that everybody will know kind of what it says and how it affects everybody. Get it back in shape and get it out to the various fire departments and stuff. We met with the EMS director, the Fairfield Fire Chief, Fire Chief, Duke Fire Chief, Fairfield City Manager, and discussing issues of concern for the county and what their expectations are and how we can all, work together. Questions have come up out of that, manual updates, who updates them and when, and how we do that and stuff. Do have some recommendations that are coming out of this, and I don't know how much of the, like the sheriff's office does, but the NIMS training, NIMS ICS 100 and 200, those really is something that should be taken probably by everybody involved. That just kind of gives you a background. 3 and 4s are mainly for officers and stuff of the departments, but the 1 and 2 would give everybody a good background and good overall look at what's going on and things. Maybe look at, we're looking and see if we can maybe have a quarterly meeting with the different officials. We already have a fire association, but that's more directed at the fire association. So if we could maybe put one together that involves more like the sheriff's department, dispatchers, and a lot of other folks that would be helpful to get everybody where everybody knows everybody better. And you know, if you have an emergency, and I don't know Jeremy, but he comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm so-and-so," then I know I've got a face and I know who he is. Okay, well, when we're on the scene and somebody comes up to us and says, "Hey, I'm so-and-so," well, you know, you don't necessarily always believe them. You know, don't know how they work and things like that. So looking at meetings like that to bring everybody back together or together. Another thing is what we're going to do, and this will be probably a year, maybe 2-year plan, would be to plan for a mass casualty incident. Around here, it's been a long time since we've attempted anything like that. A lot goes into it to set it up, and we'll bring some folks in to help out with that. And again, it'll be at least a year to get it planned. So that's the biggest right now. Weather this morning, we we're playing around watching it, looking at it. I think there was a tree down on 488. Let's see. Some of the other stuff that's going on, the water rescue team, I bought the boat last year, and just want to give you an update and let you know that, hey, this thing is not just sitting on a trailer somewhere. It's being used, luckily not for emergencies right now, but to prepare for that emergency, you have to use it. And these guys are going out on the 11th. TIG got a quarterly training with members from TIG, Streetman, Wortham, and TIG, and a classroom water rescue. And then on the 24th, they took the boat and went to Trinity River in Dallas with Dallas Fire and did training, actually in the water, in the boat, maneuvering through water and around obstacles and things like that. So that way, if we have something here where they need to, they're not just fresh getting in the boat. You know, everybody thinks, well, I can drive a boat. Driving a boat in rushing water is different than just driving a boat, okay? So these guys do this on their own. You know, they take time away from their family. They spend their own monies a lot of times to do this. There's another guy going, I believe he left today, to Broken Bow, Oklahoma for a Class 3 Rapids boat operator skills. And they do this on their own. So, I mean, when you see these guys say, hey, you know, thank you. It's a big deal, you know, you taking time away and stuff. It's kind of fun too, but anyway. We were working on 3 plans of the known flooding areas here, and then we had a fire the other day that kind of got in the way of that. So we had to back off on it. And we've got the SMGs and the training record platform been set up for that team. So that way it's just not a bunch of people running around out there not knowing what they're doing. Everybody has a job, the job is lined out, and they know what they're supposed to do. And I think that's pretty much it. Other than the TIG and Dew and Fairfield went on structure fire last night. Luckily, it wasn't real bad. Set something on fire on the stove top and it smoked the house up pretty bad, but other than that, not a lot of damage.
We have been talking, you might talk about that a little bit, talking with our health authority and with the hospital about what they have in place for
anything coming in concerning the coronavirus or COVID-19, or whichever one you want to call it.
and they do have protocols in place at the hospital, but we're going to visit with them and get a little more information from them.
And this has gotten real stick. I haven't gotten back with the EMS director on that, couldn't catch him, but we're going to find out some more with that on how their plans are.
Looks like they're working right now.
They're going to a water vehicle on the side of the road to hydroplane. Any questions?
You went out the other day to look at the mobile station that the city has.
Yes, yes.
How was it in?
Interesting conversation with them. The trailer, they say, works great. It's in good shape, maybe a couple of leaks in it, but, you know, any vehicle like that, motorhome, camper trailer, trailer like that, you're gonna have to repair those roofs, gotta do maintenance on. But other than that, they say it was great, they say it really bailed them out, you know, down to possibly 2 to 3 weeks, we're gonna have that trailer back. And then we'll start going through it and check the inside out, check everything out, make sure everything's working good on it, and we'll come back with some more info and report on that. Okay?
Any other reports? If not, we'll go to, do we have a motion to accept the reports?
Make that motion.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 6, burn ban,
Come back.
passed. Okay, item number 7, special road use agreements, do we have any? If not, we'll go to item number 8, to approve bonds and education certificates. I have one for Beth Smith for the County Court Assistance Training Conference. Any
I have one
others?
for BG Young School.
I have one for BG Young.
I have one from University of Texas. Just says that I've been a good student, not passed.
Read that.
No, it is a video.
BG Young. All right, do we have a motion to accept these?
Judge, there's a few more sitting there. Oh, sorry about that, I should have brought it to your attention.
All right. The County and District Clerks Association from Linda Jarvis. And Paternity Opportunity Program for Melissa Santana. And then the TAC Cybersecurity Awareness Training for Alicia Davis. Now do we have a motion to accept those?
Just while we're on this cyber business, cyber thing, we have to take, or everybody has to take, when is that, have to be done by?
I should get all that submitted this week, and then we have till June 14th to
And
take
who's
it.
that take?
They'll send it out to each email that I can.
Anyone that has access to our computer system, so that would pretty much lead you all act.
Thank you.
Lucky.
You'll go to class
No.
But everybody that has given their emails, and so they will individually be submitting it on their email so that they can show that each person actually did it. But now, if you want to take it, we can answer that.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, now do we have a motion to accept?
Make that motion. Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 9 is to approve the Department of Agriculture grant. Did we get that?
We did,
We did?
uh-huh.
Do you have it? I don't have it.
I do.
Oh, okay, good.
So, anyway, so they got this is the Texas Department of Agriculture, Texas Feeding Texas Home Delivered Meal Grant Program that they get every year. And it runs from February to January the following year. And this provides mileage trays, portion cups and lids for senior services and getting those meals out. And the total amount that they got for this year is $19,217.88. And so they'll get one check now, and then they'll get another check in February, I believe. So,
And
or in August.
they have guidelines as to how that can be spent. It's the same as it's always been.
Yes. They pay for their mileage for delivering the meals, the
They provide
trays.
supplies, trays.
Yes,
that kind of stuff.
uh-huh.
Okay. We have a motion to approve that grant for the senior services.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 10 is to consider the agreement for reimbursement for mental health counseling services. This is through Hot Cog, and it is the same agreement that we do with them each year. Let me read. For mental health counseling services for groups, individual, psychological, and psychiatric evaluations, drug tests, placement, and cost associated with mental health treatment for long-term care. And we submit to them and they when we submit this to them, then they reimburse us just for the flat amount of $2,750, which is not a lot, but anyway.
Where are they getting long-term care at in this county?
Just determining if they need it, I think, is what they're doing. They're not providing for $2,750. I wish they did. We need it from somebody, from somewhere, but that's not it. But this is just a small grant that we get every year. We have a motion to approve this agreement for mental health counseling services with Hot Top.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Item number 11, we don't absolutely have to do this today, but we need to be thinking about and making a decision on who we're going to have our redistricting, on what firm is going to do our redistricting. We've used the firm from Waco for forever, I guess. At least for the 20 years I've been here, we've used the same firm. We get a letter from Allison and Bass every year. They do that also. And they send a letter saying that they are available to do that if we wanted to change.
Can't do it till after the census.
Correct. But we probably need to verify who we're going to use so we can get on the list. I know that only take a certain number, each of the law firms do. We also talked about making a few changes in some spots, but we can't know that until we see how the census has changed to know our numbers.
So what we're doing right now is just trying to decide if we want to use the same people. I would make a motion that we use the same people that we used before. To stay familiar with the area.
What's the difference in the money between the?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, we don't have an actual quote from them. I can get a quote from each of them.
Yeah.
I would assume that they will give us a quote.
Probably better.
All right, we'll have this on the next agenda. Do you want to get a quote from anyone else or just those two?
Anybody wants to make a quote?
If we do that, we'll have to do an RFP and send it out. Send it out to various
How much
firms.
how much did it cost in the past, you know?
I think it was about $12,000, if I remember right.
If it's over, and then, don't we have a county policy, if it's over 10, we have to get so many quotes?
Is that for
You have to get
professional
three?
services also?
We could look just to
I-
verify
I
that.
was-
Okay, all right. We'll get those from what
They did that in the policy.
We can verify
Okay.
what exactly.
if that's covered. Okay, item number 12 is to allow Leslie Long and Abby Zablocki, how do you say that? Zablocki, to opt out of county medical insurance.
I'll make that motion.
We stay above the minimum.
Our number's still good. We have a motion, do we have a second?
I second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Any comments from Commissioners Court members? If there are none,
Judge, before y'all adjourn, I just wanted to mention the pizza today. Our CPS board is participating in a fundraiser, and if today you go to the TIG or Fairfield Pizza Hut and you order from them, dine in, take out, and you mention our CPS board before you order, then the CPS board will get a 25% of whatever is spent on those orders.
mention it before you order.
Yes, and we would just appreciate if anybody wants to do that.
Thank you, thank you. It's pizza day today, okay.
Do we know how many provisional ballots we got out?
Not at this time, I do not.
Do we usually have a lot or just a few?
It really depends. I wish I had an answer. I was working on that this morning and had to come prepared for it.
That's a paper ballot, isn't that right?
Yes, sir, it is.
When do we know that these figures that we have here are correct?
When we have the, canvas done. When the canvas is done, it'll make the counts official.
And we're gonna be assured that when we canvass that all these numbers are correct?
That's correct, and it's the, Republican Democratic chairs that do the canvassing, it's their election.
When will the provisional be counted and added to it?
They have 6 days for cure day before the ballot board can even meet. So it's gonna be at least 6 days.
But all those ballots, they were voted like the old time way, you
Yeah.
vote on them and put them in a box.
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
Make a motion with adjourn.
Yes, sir.
All right. Motion to adjourn.